given that I'm already working for about 12 years now, I still find some time outside of my work to, kind of upskill myself and then start learning it. It doesn't really matter whether it actually helps you immediately at this point in time, but it will eventually help you sometime in future when the right opportunity comes your way.
So hello everyone. Today here with us we have Sunny Mishra. He is a senior software engineer currently working in a product-based company in Bangalore. He has 12 years of rich experience working in backend engineering solutions. Also, as a passion, he helps upcoming engineer get the right career guidance and motivate them on the right path. And on the other hand, we have Praveen Bahati sir. He is founder of AlienBrains, and he is the person behind the initiative of India's Super Brain competition, which is going to be held from 15th of August, pan India wise. And he's also has the same motive to help more and more students to bring them up and give them more opportunities. So yeah, this will be a very great discussion to which I would be looking forward personally also. And yes, sir, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Raj. So first of all, it's nice to, again, it was nice of you to share about us, to write about us. And let's start. I am sure that you must have received so many queries when you posted about this particular thing.
Yeah.
So what kind of queries did you generally get, Uswa?
The kind of questions that I was getting at that point in time was that I understand, Sunny, that these people are going to teach us machine learning and Python and web development and stuffs like that. But it actually confuses me more because since there are so many options here, I don't know which option should I select and deep dive or spend more time on, which will actually end up giving me better job opportunities. So that's a very valid question. What do you want to say about that?
Actually, I'm glad that somebody asked you and you put it in this way.
Yeah.
So, and the answer to this lies in one of my previous discussion when I was having with one of my other colleagues, other guests who we had on our show, and he told that this initiative, what will it do is it will help people who just spend money blindly on one course, and then they realize that this was not for them. It is just like getting on a relationship just for the sake of getting in it, and then 1 year or 2 year down the line you realize, oh, this relationship was not for me. So
Yeah.
before getting in relationship, people, what do? They just meet some people, they understand, and then they take a well judged decision rather than
Right.
going with whatever comes first.
Right.
Right. So this is the same thing, um, in a different way, of course. So what we are trying to do, I'm so sorry. So what we are trying to do over here is getting you started in all these technologies, be it web development, be it cybersecurity, be it machine learning, be it DBMS. The core idea behind this is, okay, once you know how to get started, now maybe you can choose your field. And if you performed exceedingly well, and the problem persisted with you that, okay, I'm still confused. Actually, I got more confused. So if you end up in top 1000,
Yeah.
if you end up in top 1000 for the next 6 weeks, we expose you to the top IT minds of the country, where they have worked in these great companies, what the companies which are in Forbes 10, and then they have agreed to spend 1 hour of their time with these people who are in top 1000. So
Yeah.
around 20 plus minds will be there for this top 1000 people for 6 weeks. Let's say
Right.
20 plus hours with them. So now you also discuss with them the kind of problems, the kind of issues which you are facing, that the kind of problems that they discuss with you.
Right.
So 20 hours and access to them when you're in top 1000, I think it should solve some of your problems.
Absolutely. And to add to that, I also want to share another thing. So one of the guys, so for example, in general, I spend every day about 1 to 2 hours related to career advices and stuff like that to students, engineering students on LinkedIn, and I get various kinds of questions that they ask. So, for example, one of the questions that one student asked me on LinkedIn was that I belong to a tier 3 engineering college, and since in that college there is no campus placement, how can I ensure that I get a job opportunity. So this particular competition that you're hosting, I see, is a very good opportunity for somebody like that to get exposed to various kinds of technologies and actually shape themselves better, so that they get into the right mindset of starting to build stuffs by learning different kinds of technologies that are getting used actually in the industry, right? And that is very important thing. And these guidance will actually come from people who are actually within the industry, people who are actually building the production. Those people actually teach you that these are the stuff that are getting used in the industry. That will actually be a better leverage for students, those kind of students, right? What are your thoughts?
I mean, extremely well put. I mean, the question you asked the question, and the way you explained it, the way you
Yeah,
explained it, actually, you pretty much answered it. I mean, it's even if you are coming from tier three college or something like that, it's not about where you are coming from. It's about how much faith you have in yourself.
yeah,
So once you
absolutely.
put, once you put faith in yourself, it doesn't matter whether companies are coming to your college or not. You have to believe in yourself that if you apply in a company, you get a job there.
Right. So the one of the prime reasons there are so many students, at least on LinkedIn, because I am active on LinkedIn, I can speak from that experience. I see there's so many people who keep either posting or writing DM in the chat, and they are very demotivated. They don't know what directions they should take to actually shape their career well, because A, they don't have a job right now, and B, they don't have the right kind of career guidance or the motivation with them which can actually guide them in the right path. So given these kind of disadvantages they have, how can we help them better, so at least from my end, what I do is anybody who approaches me on LinkedIn, I try to help them, guide them, go do this kind of course or study this stuff which is very helpful. And how can you approach other people on LinkedIn probably to get any kind of job referral you want. But outside of all these nudges that I can provide to them, the essential thing that is, I would say, most important thing is that unless you upskill yourself, unless you come up to the level which is crack a certain interview or any kind of those kind of challenges, you won't, even if somebody gives you a job referral, you won't be able to crack the interview in first place, right?
See, what I believe is hooking somebody is very important.
Yeah.
Like hooking in the sense, like I am not an early riser, honestly.
Okay.
I wake up at around 8 a.m. I sleep late.
Okay.
You can talk to me up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'll be up there.
All right.
So, so for me to set up an alarm and rise early, I need to start setting up an habit.
Right.
I came across this post of, I don't know, I think yours or somebody else's, like set up an alarm at 6 a.m. and don't wake up. I mean, just snooze it off, just let it go.
Okay.
Eventually, within 10 days, 11 days, your ears will get habituated about the sound of that particular alarm. Then you start waking up. Build up a process.
Okay.
Maybe within two
Okay.
months, maybe within 2 months, you start waking up early as well as doing productive work at
Right.
around 6 a.m.
Okay.
Time. One key philosophy which I have followed in my life is patience and impatience. And this is one thing which I want to impart to everybody who will be hearing
Right.
this talk. Patience, that things take time to happen. Things take time to happen. Impatience, that until that doesn't happen, you don't give up.
Right. So while we are here, Praveen, I also wanted to, quickly touch base on one topic which I feel is very important and people don't appreciate it. And that point is upskilling. So for example, I can tell you there are two things that I have learned recently. One of them is Node.js. Although in my company, I don't really, my team doesn't use Node.js, but I picked it up for some of my personal projects, and it actually helped me because in Node.js there is this concept of event loop, single-threaded model, and there are several other concepts which are actually helping me now because in my current team we are using Scala as a programming language, and we are using single-threaded model right now. So those event loop and those concepts of functional programming that I picked up from there are actually coming and helping me now. So you realize this, like the dots
The Steve Jobs.
connect, as Steve Jobs said, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what I'm doing right now in this week is I'm learning a new JavaScript framework called Vue.js, which is similar to what the React does, right? And this is a good framework. I am trying to pick it up, learn it by building some side projects. And this is something. What do you think about upskilling in general?
Of course, I mean, the everybody says the moment you stop learning is the moment basically you are actually dying.
Right.
So upskilling is definitely important. One thing I think again I would like to point in case of upskilling is that you need to again back yourself that age is just a number. I
Right.
think if you get content, that that doesn't work. The getting content doesn't work. So even right now, what whoever grows, Mukesh Ambani would have been satisfied just by whatever he had. Then
Yeah.
so came, right? And
Right.
again he rose back from the just he became a normal average billionaire. He was not among top 10.
Yeah.
So even he upscaled his company. Even he was not upscaling himself. I think of course upscaled himself.
Absolutely. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
And while we are here, there's another thing that I wanted to talk about, the kind of stuff that college teaches us versus the kind of stuff that are actually needed in a software industry. Like, there's a stark difference. I realized it when I joined Oracle. That was back in 2008, many years ago. But it's
I think
completely different, right?
it's still the same because I can bet you
It's still
almost
the same.
all the companies
Yeah.
almost all the companies who hire an individual, they don't hire on based on what they know. They hire on based on what they think that this guy can do,
Yeah.
their potential, and then they make them skillful in the first 1 month or 2 months. They give them this period and then
Yeah.
they hire them, and that is the core idea behind this competition too. That we don't want you to judge. We don't want to judge you on the basis of what you already know. We want to judge on how quickly you can grasp new concepts. Because if you can do that, there is no reason why I don't want to have you in my team.
Right. So a few days back on LinkedIn, I actually posted something about the value of certifications versus value of actually coding. Coding and uploading your source code on some repo like
Yeah.
GitHub. So can you tell me from your experience, because I'm totally in for writing the real code rather than talking about it, or posting your certifications about it.
I'll just say one thing. 2 years back, and this is a true experience. 2 years back, one of the girls came to me for an internship. I was like, fine. So she brought her resume to me, and she had done a course from a company. I won't name the company, and she did it on January.
Okay.
Okay? And she came around, I think May or June, something like that. She came around that.
Okay.
So just because she mentioned it in the resume, I am bound to ask some things from them.
Yeah.
So like I did the certification, but I don't remember much. That was the point. I rejected her straight away. No matter how good she answered things, you don't put things what you don't know. And if you the
Absolutely.
certificate doesn't matter. The certificate doesn't matter. And I personally, you won't believe it. I don't have my internship certificate which I did from Japan. See, like with me right now.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because see, I never cared for any certificate, and every one of us who are out there, we all know that we even if we were not doing what we are doing right now, if we were going somewhere else, we won't be judged on what certifications which we have got. We would be judged by the whatever work we have done or whatever work we might do actually.
Okay.
I completely
Absolutely.
back what you are trying to say.
Yeah. And another thing is that people actually write, so like you already pointed, people write so many things on their resume which they may or may not have known properly or practiced properly. This is super critical. People don't realize it. The more number of technologies or the more number of keywords I put, I will get a better opportunity as a job. Right?
Yeah. You so the like why we mentioned about this particular thing is like, see, in this particular scenario जहाँ पे हम लोग ये सिखा रहे हैं, what we are trying to teach over here is it's more about how you get started.
Okay.
The certifications won't matter if you are to say that you became expert in machine learning, if you are to say you are become an expert in DBMS or something like that. The
Right.
certification will matter, which will only show the world that okay, this individual could grasp this technology this quickly.
Right.
Actually, the global certification will matter. Then how quickly this individual was able to grasp the concept at that given point of time.
Right.
The only thing that matters in the certificate is that, not the technology, but your performance in that particular technology.
Absolutely, it's super critical. People don't realize this, but only the ones who adapt to new changes really quick, are very fast learners, are the ones who will survive in the face of change in future. This is my true philosophy. This is a principle I live by, and I think you would agree to that, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I wanted to really quickly, know from you the kind of stuff that once. So now that you're hosting this contest,
Mhm.
and you also told me that the top 10 contender would actually get a job offer on the spot, right? And then you also said that the next 15 candidates would get internship opportunities, right? So could you quickly describe what kind of stuff would a candidate get to do once selected as a full-time employee, and what kind of stuff would a intern get to do?
Okay. So we started this company 3 years back, and
Okay.
when we started this company, primarily it was into education field, where I
Okay.
wanted to mentor. Our motto was we want to mentor you the way we wanted somebody to mentor us.
Right.
That was our prime motto, and
Okay.
that is how we went. We never did a recorded session. We always encourage live mentorship, even if it meant the batch won't have more than 10-15 people. We always maintain that
Okay.
so that the live projects are there and stuff like that. So
Okay.
after 1 year of the company, we realized that okay, we have the potential to. So why not go into the R&D development?
Right.
That is when we came up with this idea of end-to-end event experience app known as
Okay.
Jana. It
Okay.
was like around 2 times in the last 1 year. It was number one trending in Play Store in its category of events.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
even
interesting.
so one our R&D team is working on that particular department, Sociana, and of course India Super Brain has come along. So
Okay.
some of the team is working there. But the core idea behind this 10 people or 50, 25 people which will be having in our team is that we
Right.
don't find what field you want to be working on. For us to get a good talent, it's very rare because people don't believe in companies who are from Calcutta primarily or who are a startup or something like that.
Right.
Still, we have managed to build a team of 17 people being in Calcutta, and of course, more than 50 plus interns are there. But the point of this particular thing is, if you are talented, there is no reason why we won't want to have you. So even if you're
Right.
good at machine learning, even if you want a job at cyber security, even if you want a job at React JS, we know we will find a position in our team and we'll get you started there. Because
Okay.
for us, a dream job is a job where you are working on the things you want to work on, not on the companies or not on the pay scale or something like that. Of course, all that matters. But actually, if you're enjoying what you're working on, that is your dream job.
Right.
So we want to offer all these dream jobs and dream internships to all these people. And of
Okay.
course, this will be a dream team because this 25 people will be the top 25 rankers. And this top 25 people are again somebody who can grasp this concept so easily. So you can imagine a team of quick learners who are quick on feet. It will be like insane for me to not have them when I had the opportunity to have them.
Absolutely. And also, I was curious about this. So because I have like very rarely I new on Udemy.com or any of those online MOOC websites. So can you tell me that these 4 weeks of course material that you will be exposing the students to, what will they take back from these after 4 weeks? Like like will they just become shallow beginner learner after knowing these things, or they'll be deep diving into these individual courses, and what kind of stuff would that be?
So there is one thing, one primary difference which I found in live classes and in recorded classes is when there is a recorded classes, when there are recorded classes, you tend to either watch it in 2x, 3x, 4x, and basically you lose the essence of it.
Yeah.
A, B, when you're watching it, you watch it like a movie because we are so prone to movie watching. Once
Yeah.
you don't revisit it or once you don't re-mentor it to someone, you tend to forget those stuffs. So that is why even if
Right.
you had an option of just putting out the recorded classes, 9 month, if the weather permits and if everything goes well on each day, we'll be sharing the live classes so that you
Okay.
learn along with us. Of course, the recorded classes will be there. So when you're learning along with us, now whatever doubts you are having, you can just ask directly on the route portal, and we'll be
Okay.
solving instantaneously.
Okay.
One team will be just looking at the doubt portal. They'll be raising it to us, and we'll be just putting, "Acha, theek hai, okay, you are having this doubt. Let's solve it in this way."
Okay.
So instantaneous solving will be there. But as you mentioned, like after 4 days, what will happen? So how we have planned this particular thing is that of course there are 2-3 projects depending on the kind of technology. In machine learning, there are 3. In web development, there is 2. Projects are planned in such a way that even if you are somebody who are like 1 year into this particular, 2 year in this particular field, you won't find it easy to grab 100 out of
Right.
100 in our competition, because
Yes.
nobody will believe in machine learning for the 3 days. The topic of day one, what the topic of day one can be, the topic of day two can be, and what the topic of day three can be. The
Right.
moment we reveal it, it will be unfair to a lot of people who are starting from scratch, because otherwise the people who have been doing this from so many years, they will just grab this opportunity.
Okay.
So, but rest assured that whoever will be coming, they will understand that चाहे अगर वेब डेवलपमेंट भी हुआ तो वेब डेवलपमेंट में हाउ टू गो इनटू फ्रंट एंड हाउ टू गो इनटू बैक एंड, we will make sure that all the paths are known to you.
Right.
Handouts will be there that can guide you there.
Sure. I have a very interesting and funny question.
Okay.
So, although I myself find it to be comparing apples and oranges, but
Okay.
somebody asked me that given machine learning data science on one side and web development using Java and Python on the other side, can you please guide me that which path should I go into? And I find it to be a very funny question.
Okay. I'll answer that. So actually, before this, I have also hosted a lot of free sessions. We have hosted a lot of takeoffs where we invited more than 100 plus students and we answered similar questions. So there, I realized when I answered this that okay, you confuse machine learning or web development के बीच में. Let's do one thing. What do you love more, designing or mathematics? Okay,
Yeah.
I just try to play with their mind, just to help them understand that what kind of world they might be getting into. For example, if I so my maths was pretty good, like I loved maths, 10th, 11th, में 12th में,
Okay.
ठीक है. So
Okay.
for me, machine learning was a natural choice, even though my drawing was very good. So but the point was for me, machine learning was a natural choice.
Sure.
Somebody for web development who believes a lot into aesthetic. Even if you're doing a back-end development,
Right.
it doesn't matter. But the aesthetic matters and the beauty matters and everything like that matters. The structure matters. I
Yeah.
think you can start with web development. So this is a very vague way of taking this. Okay. But I think if you have to just choose without any other data, you can, and without no other expectation, and basically you're on point blank, this is where you divide yourself.
Right. Line fitting.
Yeah.
And another funny question that somebody asked me recently was that what should I choose? And I have several options: C++, Python, Java is there, and even JavaScript is there.
Mhm.
So I simply answered that particular individual that language really doesn't matter,
Oh my God. Exactly the same answer I was about to give you. I mean, languages doesn't matter.
right? So at least from these 4 weeks of course, I'm sure people will actually delve into the topics that they only thought about, and they thought it's something that I will learn someday. But at least now, when they actually get to know these topics, they will come out as either a person who knows these things to a certain level in order to decide which field they want to jump into, or on the other hand somebody who already had a inclination towards a certain field. Now they will get a real insight into this is what I want to do, right? And that will be super helpful for them. What are your thoughts?
And you mentioned this somebody who has a super inclination towards one field. Let's say somebody who has a good inclination in machine learning.
Right,
Dare them to be in top 25 of machine learning,
right,
because that is why we came up with weekly prizes. Like for top
okay,
20 people, we are awarding 5,000 to each individual. So if you
right,
feel that you're too good at machine learning, that you are going to ace this particular thing,
right.
come participate for the sake of machine learning itself. Challenge yourself to be in top 25 among all the people who are starting from scratch.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So even this platform is all for all of them also who think that they excel in one thing. This will be a reality check for them, which we believe, or it will be reality check for us. A lot of people end up in top 25. We'll be like, okay, it was too noob for us to be setting this particular thing. So it will be
and
reality check.
and one thing
Yeah.
and one thing I want to highlight here is that I'm sure a lot of people would have actually gone ahead and registered for this these 4 weeks of session, and I want to throw a message to whoever is would be listening to this video, is that it doesn't. I understand some of them would be jumping in with this immediate opportunity of a job as an opportunity there. However, some other people would be in because they want to learn new stuff, and there would be a third category who just wants to explore and know what's going on. They don't know what this is. So my message to anybody who will be going through these 4 weeks of session is that it doesn't really matter if you actually end up getting a job or not, but in the end it actually matters. What matters is that you came out with a certain level of before you joined this session. Okay, and after you're done with this 4 weeks of course and you learn a couple of stuffs, I would actually encourage all these students to go back and build small stuffs in their own laptop. And in the process of building those smaller stuffs, they will actually concretize all the learnings that they took away from these sessions. It's very super critical, very important. I keep writing about this on my LinkedIn. I actually say a slogan is show the don't do the talking, actually rather show your work. And that is very important. People write so many technologies they know on their resume, but rather it would be more helpful if you upload all the source code of all the side projects that you built on GitHub, and rather share your GitHub link on your resume. That will be actually worthwhile, because I interview so many candidates, right? Whether the candidate is coming from IIT or a normal college or any other premier college, when I look at the resume, I see the kind of work that person has put in, then that actually builds up a certain level of expectation. And that is the kind of question that drive when I'm actually interviewing that person, right? So it's very, very important you take this course, you come out and build smaller projects so as to concretize all the stuff that you learn.
I'm glad you mentioned GitHub twice, and it again brought this attention to me. Like all the 4 weeks, whatever we will be talking about,
Right.
we'll be doing it in GitHub. We'll be uploading
Okay.
everything on GitHub so
Okay.
that these guys learn how to operate how to use this particular thing, and what the essence of collaboration. They understand the essence of collaboration. It's not about the destination.
Right.
I am this a believer of this particular quote. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And I know that this journey will be
Sure.
worthwhile.
Sure.
So that is what I have to say for all the people who are listening to this particular conversation and who have made it
Right.
to the end.
Absolutely. I'm actually glad that I had this conversation. And so in the start, I was thinking, what will I talk? But later I realized it's actually helpful for others who will listen to the conversation I'm having with you, because in the course of these conversations, there are lots and lots of questions that I keep getting asked on my LinkedIn platform. And it is nice that I've chosen this conversation as a medium to answer those questions either directly by me, or asking those questions to you so that maybe you can answer them, right?
Awesome. I mean, it's we even didn't knew that when we started with this whole podcast thing, whatever we're having
Right.
right now, that what kind
Right.
of impact it might have. Now we believe that whoever will listen to this entirely, if not everything will be for them, something will definitely be for them, and it's more important for them to pick it up and apply it in their life. If they can, if they can find it, that would be great for them.
Really. So the thing is that we do all our learnings and then we go implement them. We do our office job, we earn money, whatever. We do our normal life and live our lifestyle. But on the side, how do you contribute back to the society? So in my own personal space, I have actually chosen LinkedIn as one of those platforms where I can actually impart all the my last 12 years of professional learnings and experiences back. Why I'm interacting with you here, Praveen, is that your actual job in itself is helping you to serve the society back, so you don't have to you know do it twice like me, have a separate course of action. So I'm actually kind of glad. So it was a good collaboration, having this talk here, and I'm sure in future also I'll keep this conversation going, because there's a lot of learning from somebody who has chosen education as a career choice. It's very cool for me.
Yes, Sunny. I will definitely talk in future, and we'll definitely discuss a lot of things. I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of feedbacks are going to come after this particular session is over, and also the competition is over.
Right.
Even at this given point, I would like to invite you in among being among one of those top 20 people who will be inviting for those 6 week session. Whatever 1 hour or whatever 2 hour you can find, so that you can guide these individuals, this top 1,000 individuals. That would be awesome.
Sure, sure. I'll definitely think about it. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you, sir, for coming, and thank you, Sunny sir, also for coming in. And yeah, we had a great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
India's Super Brain, India's most unique competition ever. It is a competition for 4 weeks from 15th August to 17th September. 4 technologies will be taught: web development, cybersecurity, machine learning, DBMS. And 5 certifications will be provided to you. Students participating from 28 states and 8 union territories. There are also amazing awards and perks. Total prizes worth up to Rs 9 lakhs. And amazing job and internship offers. First, you get mentored on the topic each week. 1 technology per week will be taught for 4 weeks. 5 certifications for overall performance and in these technologies respectively. And then you compete week after week. For that, 1 super title. Bringing to the world India's Super Brain. Register today at isp.alienbrains.in.